What's going on, you guys? It's been a long time coming. Been anxious to get back with you guys. Been getting everything together for you guys, the announcements, putting together things for you, so we can have a more organized and a more smooth way to do the podcast. So we're here tonight, and we have a couple of announcements for you. And as you know, I'm the CEO, Mr. John Best, and this the CFO,
Mr. George Best.
Hey, and we just here. Tonight won't be a long podcast because we don't want to keep you guys too late, but we do want to get to what the topic is going to be for this portion of the podcast, and also part two of the podcast that's going to be returning next Monday. So we're going to go ahead and reveal to you guys when we will be on the podcast every week. Now, Mondays, we will be on the podcast every Monday from now on at 7 p.m. Financial Fashion Talk Podcast will have a concrete date to be on air every Monday at 7 p.m. And we thank you for still supporting us. We thank you for still getting on, at the beginning of this journey that we're starting, in the podcast industry. So we definitely want to give you guys our gratitude, and we thank you for continuing to get on. So welcome to episode number 3, part 1. The topic was going to be persistence. Who's calling me? Hey, text mama and tell her I'll call her back on the podcast. But oh yeah. Okay, yeah, every Monday at 7 p.m. The topic for this portion of the podcast and the podcast that's coming on Monday will be persistence. And we're going to be giving tangible, steps on how to be more persistent, but also we're going to give our take on it. And we're going to talk about our experiences on how we develop persistence. Like even tonight, we were planning to be on the podcast a little bit earlier, but just because you plan things, and that doesn't mean it's going to always go as planned. So you still have to maintain, that drive even when things don't go your way. But anyway, back to our announcements. Mondays at 7 p.m. The topic is going to be persistence. And also, we wanted to do a giveaway for you guys. We're not going to call out any names just yet. But the challenge for this podcast is going to be called the Biggest Supporter Challenge. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch everybody's involvement in the podcast. We're going to watch everybody's support of our podcast, and we're going to be giving away a free hoodie. So we're going to be watching each of you. So all of you guys has entered into this challenge, whether you know it or not. We're going to be monitoring you guys' support, your likes, your shares, your comments, your reviews. And whoever we feel like has been, our biggest supporter, we're going to give them an exclusive hoodie. We'll be hitting the inbox. We're going to let you guys know who won live on the podcast. We're not going to tell you when we're going to show who the winner is. We're just going to pop up and going to do it because we're going to be watching you guys' interaction. But yeah, also, we won't get to it on this podcast since we got to get off a little bit early tonight. We're going to start taking questions, and we're going to start taking topics. So on every podcast, we want to take at least 2 topics or 2 questions because we want to involve you guys, and we love you guys. We want you guys more active in the podcast. So we want to involve you guys, and we want to get your perspective and takes on things. It's not all about us. Part of us being who we are is you guys being here so we can serve you.
Exactly.
It's all about the service. So every podcast, we would take 2 questions or 2 topics that you guys would want to talk about. Okay. So anything you want to mention, brother, about
any of that?
Yeah, anything
yeah, man.
About the announcement.
Okay, yeah, man. And the giveaway, man, is basically to show our appreciation. You know what I'm saying? It's not just our success is definitely dependent on your support as well. That's not the main thing that we're dependent on, but you guys are very important to what we're doing, and we just want to show an appreciation. And also, what John didn't mention is this is something that we'll be definitely doing every month. We'll be doing this every month, and after a while, it'll be on a more consistent basis during the month, maybe twice a month. But we'll definitely be doing this every month, and we'll be watching the participation and attendance, and the shares and the likes, or whatever, you know what I mean? But you'll never know it, but this is something that we'll be paying attention to, and just to show our appreciation.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it.
Right. It's not a contest, but it's just us showing our appreciation, and just putting out there the great products that we offer as well. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about the announcements.
Man, I wish we can get into this topic. You guys are really showing up tonight. Like, even though we ran into hiccups with the last podcast and we were supposed to be on Monday and we wasn't supposed to get on, but you guys are really showing up, and I really appreciate that. That's another reason why we have to do we have to do a giveaway. We want to give away a lot of hoodies. We want to give away a lot of shirts. We want to give away joggers. We want to give away these things so you guys can be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all not getting paid to be on our podcast. Y'all not getting paid to be on our podcast, so we really appreciate you guys.
Right. We definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it greatly, greatly. And then we just want to show the gratitude. And not only are we just giving away, products, but, everything that we're talking about, everything that this movement that we're on is about giving. You know what I mean? So we're basically, giving away valuable information that's gonna self-develop, and at the same time, man, the reason that, another thing I wanted to speak about for the announcement goes.
Appreciate that, Cyrus. Glad to have you.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to speak about was shucks, kind of lost my train of thought. But it's very important, because that you all get involved, you know what I mean? Because what we're doing is basically in the embryo stage, you know what I mean? And dealing with, questions and maybe topics, it's not gonna do anything but, help us grow as far as getting involved, and trying to be a help on different avenues of people's lives, and that's going to be very important, to the growth.
Hey, and that's why we came up with the segment, of taking topics from you guys and answering questions, because we really want you guys to get involved and we want you to feel important. And a lot of issues that happens today is because of people don't be heard. People feel like they're not heard. So we want you guys to understand that here is an opportunity for your perspective to be valued. You know what I'm saying? And we want you guys' insight on the things that we're going to be talking about as well. So that's why we came up with the segment of taking 2 questions or 2 topics each podcast and spending at least 5 to 10 minutes talking about that, because we value your guys' opinion. We value your perspective. We value what you bring to the table. So that's going to be very, very good. And I can't wait to talk to you guys. I'm sorry that tonight is not the night that we're going to get into depths on the topic of persistence. So, man, that's a very powerful topic. Persistence. You're going to get into willpower. You're going to get into having vision. You're going to get into having faith. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get into like what persistence really means. We won't be able to get deep into it this podcast since, we started so late. You know what I'm saying? But definitely part 2 will be on Monday at 7. Monday at 7, which will be every other podcast. Every week, we're going to meet you guys here, at 7 on Mondays. Great. Remember that. Mondays at 7.
Mondays at 7.
So we just basically got on here tonight to give you guys our announcement of the new segment. We're going to really get you guys involved with 2 topics or 2 questions each podcast. And we wanted to let you guys know about the giveaway that we're going to do for our biggest supporter. So it's called the Biggest Supporter Challenge. So we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching your likes. We're gonna be watching your shares and your comment, and we're just gonna randomly choose somebody, who we feel that's the biggest supporter, and we want to appreciate you. Okay, we went over that. We went over the segment. We went over the hoodie. Okay, we went over what time the podcast is gonna be every week. And remember this topic until next week. Remember the topic, persistence. We're going to get into deep conversation about persistence. And we want you guys to join in. We're going to take questions, or either we're going to take two topics that you guys would want to talk about, or go, deeper into what we're talking about. But definitely, we're going to need you guys' interaction with the new segment, Question Us, on every podcast. We're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about whatever you want to talk about. We're going to look through the comments, and we're going to choose, two topics or two questions that we can talk about and converse about, for about 5 to 10 minutes. Right, because you matter. What you say matters, and we want to value everything you guys say. So I think that about wraps it up, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely, Cyrus. We'll definitely get into that as well.
Loans for small business.
Because I mean, it's all about finding your lane, man.
Hey, we're gonna wait, and we're gonna save that for when the segment come out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was just telling them that's a good topic. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. See, we already got interaction right now,
right.
So you already know Monday is gonna be big. We're gonna involve you guys, and we're gonna get deeper into things, man, because a lot of people got different definitions on persistence.
Right.
Not everybody look at the literal meaning. How we looked up.
Right. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. As far as Monday goes. You know what I mean? Not only, and this is just a challenge. You know what I mean? This is not something that we're trying to make you do. But you come up with your topics, come up with your questions, but actually go and look up the definition of persistence, and and you can express how, and what that is to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so you won't be blindly talking about it. It was just something that came to the mental. You know what I mean? Because I've always heard about it, but I never really understood it. But yeah, take a look at the definition of persistence. Take a look at the definition of persistence.
Hey, so we're talking about something powerful. We're talking about, something that every successful person has to have, regardless of what calling, regardless of what industry, regardless of what business. Persistence is something that every person got to have if we're going to reach success. So very important topic, and we looking to have you guys involved, which is the most important thing. We keep repeating it, but we have to let you guys know how valuable you are to us, and we value your perspectives, and we can't wait to go back and forth and talking about this thing, because like I said, it's a lot of perspectives and views on persistence.
Right.
So we can go deeper into that, but we're gonna get ready to go ahead and close it. Since we only came on here tonight to give you guys a heads up that every podcast will be from now on every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and also about the biggest supporter challenge and the new segment to our podcast, Question Us, where we'll take at least two topics or at least two questions and involve our audience in our podcast. So you already know what time it is. Sorry we won't have a long podcast tonight because we had to do this podcast specifically for making our announcements. But part 2 of this particular podcast will be held next Monday at 7 p.m. And the topic is what? Persistence. We're going to go over that. We're going to get your viewpoint on it. And we're going to blow this thing up, man. And we're going to learn something. You learn from us. We learn from you. We learn from each other. And it's all to be better. It's all to go forward and grow. So, man, we're about to be out. And what we always say, man, we'll see y'all next week. You already know the topic. We don't usually reveal the topic, but
it was just so
happened. We gave y'all a treat. Right. You know what I'm saying? For you guys to be on the podcast next Monday at 7 p.m.
Right.
Yours truly, Mr. Best CEO.
And yours truly, Mr. George Best, the CFO.
Hey, yeah, and we signing out. See you guys next week.